Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
You're
going wrong with these systems. They said earlier on, StreamYard just didn't want to go live on LinkedIn. So what's that? But this one, I don't know. The internet connection falls down. I'm not sure if that's a deliberate or if that's an intentional thing on their side. They've done something. Obviously, I'm sure that they don't want the effect to happen. But no, it's whether they've done something to create a system that is unstable when it comes to the internet, which can happen. But now, how are you, Christina?
I'm good. I'm actually excited for this topic, which is the prequel
Yeah,
for the
I like
next
that.
topic.
I like that. It was still 2 weeks away though
Yes.
from the big day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Okay, no, let's have the conversation we want to have, because I think, maybe what I would say is, I think we hope that our friends will not just listen. I hope people want to move forward in their lives and their business. So I was talking to someone earlier on. I'm like, no, Christina I've watched her build businesses for other people, with other people. So what we want to share with you is important, and I hope people just take action. That's what I'll say. Liana, welcome. How are you doing? Happy Monday indeed. It's almost done here. 9 o'clock now. It's still early in the US where you are, right? Of course, if you're here, please, say hello, and you're welcome to join the studio to share. We'd love to hear your thoughts. I want someone to come up and go, look, I smash it every month. Every month I make 10K, I make 15K, 20K, 30K. Right, I think the sad reality, Christina, is that many people don't even get close. Some don't make any revenue at all. Like just like 1% of people on LinkedIn do posts regularly. 1%. I think it's even less who actually make revenue. Less than 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Actually make money and make money at all, let alone and how much every month. It's one of those things. Thankfully, our Linda, one of Christina's, what to call her? It's not shining example.
It's one of my inspirations.
Yeah, well, she's one of your, she's one that's learned from you. It's a word. There's a word for it, right? Apprentice. Maybe that's a word. One of your students who's building a successful business on LinkedIn by following the formula that we're gonna discuss in good time, right? So, right, I see you too. Welcome, Linda, pure genius. And I'm glad you're here. There's been noises outside. I don't know why this time of night. So yeah, it could be StreamYard, it could be restreaming around. There's a problem somewhere. It could be a problem with LinkedIn as a whole, because we're on StreamYard, we're on Restream, but I think LinkedIn's making changes apparently, and as soon as you say those words, I know what that means. That means something's gonna screw up. They always mess something up when they change something, and then something else messes up. But LinkedIn is not bad, and they're quite good. They will work it out quick enough. Once we see a glitch, they can see the glitch as well, and they'll fix it. They always do. They always do, right? So, hang tight. It's only a few events that's going to go wrong. Oh, thank you, Christina. Yes, Christina, that's you. Jackie, we found Jackie. She's the one that helps you not have flabby content. Yeah, if you think what that means, she's a super editor. She's one of those people who can truly edit content professionally. So she makes sure there's no spare bits, there's no ropey bits in your content, right? How are you, Jackie? I haven't seen you for months. Probably the first time this year, right? Anyway, look, we're on a tight time schedule, so if you do want to join us, please do it early. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Now we do have to leave on time today. So 45 minutes if you're lucky, and we'll be gone. Anyway, Christina, I've talked way too much, right?
No, it's good. It's a
No.
valuable points, right?
Yeah.
1% of people creating content, and if you think of that, it's like you want to be in that 1% because it means the rest is consumers, right? And then you also touched about people that we know in our community that might not be there yet. And today we're going to be talking about possible reasons why things are not working out the way you would like for them to work out. So, first of all, and you also touched on the fact that LinkedIn keeps making changes, right? So we know that. So for those of you that have been on LinkedIn for a while, you know, up until a couple of years ago, we had it pretty good. We connected with whoever we thought should be in our network. Then we created content, and everybody that was following us would see the content. So pretty good. So you wanted to connect with the right people so that everything that you're saying is being shown to them. So that has changed gradually. It's been changing for the last year and a half, and now is becoming even more apparent in the feed, your feed. If you look at your feed, you don't really see a lot of stuff from your connections unless you are continuously engaging with particular people. Then you'll see their content, or you actually have clicked on that double bell, right? So, but that's your feed, not your content. So, and not everybody, although I talk about it all the time, these changes, these algorithms, and ways to not to get around it, but ways to leverage it while you do your own thing. Not everybody has gotten the memo, and they're wondering, why is my feed so bad? And if I'm seeing this stuff on my feed, does it mean the people that are following me are seeing the same thing? And is this the reason why I'm not making any money? Right? So because there are these changes, if you want your message to land in other people's hands, you have to take those actions to make that happen. So if you want somebody that is in your network or somebody that you see to know something about you, you're just going to have to send them a message and straight up pointing them out to either something that you wrote or an event that you're doing. And that's pretty much step number one of why what you would like for somebody to see is not being seen. And so the person that you thought was going to see your ad for your next event is really not seeing them, and it's harder for you to convert them because you think they might be hearing from you, but in reality they haven't seen a piece of your content in months, even if you've been posting every day. So that's the reason number one of why probably things are not working out right now. But the main reason really is consistency. I said all the time, LinkedIn is not your business. Your business is what your business does for who, and now you think or how is actually gonna earn an income. So that has to be crystal clear to you, and yet realize that LinkedIn is your tool. Now, I know many business owners that sure, they post on LinkedIn for visibility or to have a presence, or because for SEO reasons, right? But they don't really count on it to monetize. I was just having a conversation with a couple of them last week. I do get some referrals from LinkedIn, but I really don't count on it to monetize what I'm doing. And so the reality is what we're gonna be discussing in a couple of weeks when Annie and I are doing a master class on how to actually achieve a consistent thinking result. The reality is that you actually can monetize and generate the type of income consistently from LinkedIn. But you have to stop doing some of the things that are detrimental to you right now. So, one is that of assuming that everything that you're posting is going to be shown to the right person. If you want what you're posting to be shown to the right person, there are steps that you do need to take, starting from your profile, starting from everything that it's in there, not just the pretty headline, banner, and a few lines on your bio, but just about every single section of your profile. That's one. And the reason why you want to do that is because that's kind of like the map or the blueprint of who you are. So if you're not doing that, that's probably a strong reason. But that alone doesn't really do it. It's not a standalone thing. Uh, the reason why I call it a blueprint is because you have to do what it says in the can. So if your profile says one thing, you have to be consistent. So that technically, and it's not a guarantee because nobody really knows how the LinkedIn algorithm works, but technically it's what LinkedIn wants us to do. And over time, should improve your feed. And when I say over time, I want you to hear this. It's not working right now, not really. It's starting to, uh, and it's starting to work for those people that give LinkedIn feedback. When you see something you don't like in that feed, just tell them, I don't want to see this. It's political content. I'm not interested in the other. Literally, if you see things that are not aligned with you and what you want to see, that's a big part of training this tool that we are using to understand what you want it to do for you. So that's probably one of the most important things right there. Uh, the other part is that you might think that you have a product, you have an offer, and it's there, and you think of LinkedIn as a directory. Somebody just gonna look for a business coach, and you magically appear there. Sometimes it happens, but the biggest thing is that no one is going to invest a certain amount of money, especially when we talk about thousands, if you haven't built something very important, and that is trust. So you can be posting every day, you can be writing every day, and that's good for authority. That's good because over time people see your name. But it's not just one action, it's not just one lever. So if you are serious about monetizing your profile or monetizing your presence, anything that you're publishing on LinkedIn, then you have to put the human factor in there. I think just this morning I posted something. I don't probably not gonna go viral because almost anything, nothing goes viral anymore. But what I was trying to express is that I keep seeing these posts about I just used Claude or ChatGPT to do this for me to create the perfect DM systems that is gonna convert your client, or you're wasting too much time posting. I'm gonna comment, don't waste any more time, and I will send you my method for you to create your content for the entire month in under an hour using Claude. And basically, it's prompts and it's clickbait, or uh, saying creating an environment where somebody's gonna comment, and you trick the system and you get more impressions on your own post. Then you end up giving them something that you created that might or might not be useful. But hear me when I say that any document that somebody sends you, about shortcuts, about creating the perfect post, about um, having the perfect message you're going to send somebody. It's not what is going to make you money. What's going to make you money is really understanding how this works by doing it, doing your post, writing your post, seeing how it performs, seeing who's responding. Whether it's 100 people or it's 5 people, are the 5 people the right people that you wanted this post to land in the hands of? So that's probably the most important thing. And when you're connecting with people, are you connecting just for the sake of connecting and to get those numbers because you're thinking the more people are following me and the more people are connecting with me, the more people are going to see my post and the more chances are that somebody's going to click, book a call with me, and buy one of my offers? If you're thinking that's the how, that's why you're not generating the type of revenue every month. The how is that if you decide to connect with a certain amount of people, each one of them has to have a reason why you're connecting with them. Doesn't have to be because I'm going to sell you something. It could be because you like the post that you saw, that you see. It's aligned with everything that you're doing, and they're doing events. Maybe you want to participate to one of their events, or you want to attend some and raise your hand and go share the stage with them if they allow it. Or maybe you actually see that they have guests and you want to be one of those guests, right? But you just following them and liking the post and never actually telling them, hey, are you looking for guest speakers? I would like to share some of my ideas. I would like to have a conversation with you. If you don't do any of this, it's not going to happen. And the main thing is going back to consistency, right? I just gave some examples of some of the things that do work in terms of building relationships on this platform. But if you don't do it every day, if you don't have some kind of structure for yourself that at the end of the week you can come back to and say, I did this particular task and it produced this result, you're never going to be able to look at something and analyze it and see this is working, this is not working. This works really well. I should be doing more of this. So it's very easy as a solo entrepreneur or somebody that is starting a business and thinking everybody that is a service business, as a service business or is a consultant, is using LinkedIn. And people are posting about having success, etc., etc. It's very easy to start and have all the great experience that goes with it, all the skills that goes with it, and all the talent that goes with it. And 3 months later, getting discouraged because some things are not working out. And then, what happens? One of the biggest thing that happens is avoidance, because things are not working out the way you would like them to work out. You seek refuge in those tasks that are less stressful, and you think that over time are gonna pan out and work. So, uh, so no, several people that when things don't work out, what they do is that they create another post and another post and another post and another post, and you know another idea, and they keep posting and posting. But the thing is, it's not compounding. Now, there is nothing wrong with posting a lot. Some people think, oh no, you should be only posting 3 times a week. If you're posting more, is actually damaging what you're doing. There is no proof that that is true. And if you have something to say, by all means, say it and post it. Uh, Sometimes I personally go, depending on how I feel, right? So if I feel like I have time and I'm inspired and I want to post a few things. I don't care that they are on the same day and it's every day. My daily blog is every day. I don't pay too much attention to it because I know that the feed is working differently now. I know that people that follow me are not seeing those things every day, and I just want those things to actually to get a chance to sit in there and over time being discovered. I had somebody liking something that I posted 8 months ago the other day, and how did this person find this post? I'm wondering. And the only possible explanation is that either they were interested in something else that they went through, or somehow, because of relevancy, that old post came up in the feed because of something they chose in their own personal feed. So, posting and creating content and creating newsletters, it's something that on its own, as it they all have their own role, uh, but you cannot view it as the sole thing that is going to generate revenue for you. So that's something that needs to be clear. There is nothing wrong with spending time on posting and creating content. Actually, it is good for you, and I'll share in a little bit why. Uh, but you have to spend time, and you have to allocate how much time you're going to spend on those activities that are actually going to get you in conversations. So if you're thinking, I'm going to find leads on this platform, it's not just out of posting. Posting needs to be there for when they decided to look at your profile and they want to see if you have a presence here, if you're active, if you're, if the last time things you posted was 3 months ago, or, basically, do you show up at your place of work, right? So that's another way to build trust. If all of a sudden you're engaging with someone and they say, okay, I think I like what this person is saying, I'm interested, uh, it makes sense. Let me look at their profile, and all of a sudden they go to your profile and there is nothing there. There is a couple of reposts or something that you posted 3 months ago. I think that what happens psychologically is that the person doesn't trust that you are there. They understand you're not showing up on LinkedIn and you're not reachable on LinkedIn. If you have an active presence, you're doing regular things, showing up at lives, your name is seen there, you're commenting regularly, you're posting regularly. When it comes to the moment of trust, they'll see that those are your office hours. They'll see that one way to reach you is LinkedIn. You can share other ways to reach you with your audience, of course, but if the platforms where they already are, um, it represents a way for them to reach out to you and for you to respond, within reason, within 24 hours, then that actually builds that trust. And it's part of some of the things that you might not be doing right now. Somebody might see something, they might be curious about you, but then they'll go on your profile and they'll see that you're not really active. You don't do events, you don't do newsletters, you don't post, you don't really comment. So that means you had an ad there, but that's not how I contact you. And that's okay too. The thing is it clear if somebody goes on your profile, how they're going to reach out to you? Is there a way? Uh, is your presence somewhere else? Is there a way to actually call you, book a call with you? Maybe your email is there, visible or not, for them to send you an email and reach out to you if they wanted to. So those are all things that are part of this consistency cycle. That it's something that we really have to be aware of. And the biggest thing is that if you're now a consultant or you made this step, you left the 9 to 5. That's what this whole series has been about. and you're now a consultant, or you're now an entrepreneur that works for themselves, right? Sole entrepreneur, small entity, small business, monetizing on their work experience and by doing coaching, offering financial services, anything of that nature. If that's what you're doing right now, are you still thinking with your employee mentality, or have you now switched to your entrepreneur mentality? So when you're thinking of your entrepreneur mentality, your employee mentality, on as an entrepreneur, it's actually very easy to get lost, because it's 8 o'clock. You decide to sit at your desk. It's time for me to work. You got your coffee right there, and you're you're doing things. You're maybe liking something, commenting, posting your offer there, preparing some other content, thinking, what am I doing? Um, has anybody reached to me? And all that. But are you actually spending your time instead doing those things that are going to create an impact? Maybe not today, but a few months down the line. So when you do something at work, you're showing up, you're saying I'm present, clocking in if you clock in, if you're, by the hour, or maybe the end of the month you get a salary. And there is a certain number of tasks that your employer has given to you, and you're just there. You cannot go anywhere. You're at work. You cannot leave, and you're performing those tasks. And you know that after a couple of weeks or a month, depending when your payroll is, you get a check. When you're working for yourself, that's not what happens. You could get a check every day, or you could get a check a couple of months from now. So are you actually analyzing the cadence, and are you doing everything in your power at the beginning of the month to generate revenue that very month? Or if you're working, you know, what I do generates revenue every couple of months. Have you started? Have you made a plan? And have you analyzed the results so that you know, when I do this particular action, sure, it takes a little time, but my calendar gets filled. And what happens is that two or three of those people in my calendar convert into clients the next month or within a month and a half. And also, are you getting discouraged when something doesn't go well during one of those calls, and just say, oh, this didn't work out, and forget all about it? Or do you go back and reach out? Do you actually see that as something that, okay, it's not working out now, but what do I have for these people that agreed to have a conversation with me, but they are not ready right this second? What do I have to keep them coming, to keep them following, to keep them engaged, so that when they're ready, I'm top of mind? So these are, some of the things that if you're not doing, that's pretty much the reason why. It is actions that produce result. And before you take any action, you have to ask yourself, the action of posting this one post today, what is the reason for me posting this? Is it supposed to want somebody? Is it somebody reads my post? Are they supposed to say, I like it? Are they supposed to say, oh, let me reach out to them? Or are they just supposed to read and learn and start, understanding who you are? There are things that you might be posting that they don't need any call of action. They're just there for people to understand that you're an expert in the subject matter. And there are also things that you post that will eventually produce revenue, but it's not happening right now. So every time you're posting something, you have to think, this is going to be the answer to somebody's question. Because another thing that is happening, and it's not just the LinkedIn thing, and I suspect the LinkedIn got on board on this strategy knowing that this was going to happen. Another thing that is happening is that when people have a question or they have a problem and they're seeking a solution, they are not really Googling anymore, even if they're looking for somebody to work with or they're looking for materials that can help them complete a project. They're not using Google, they're using their chatbots. Even when somebody is trying to make a decision, do I want to work with this person or not? They know that by Googling their name, they're going to have to go through pages. Or, it's going to be, of course, they're going to appear because you just Google their name. But if they ask their chatbot, what is this person known for? Where is their presence? Are there any reviews anywhere? They get the answers right away. So one thing that we all need to spend time doing is creating the content and not get frustrated thinking I'm creating it and it's not making me money right now, but it just needs to be part of your strategy because you want to feed not the LinkedIn algorithm, but all of the algorithms with your presence. So you want to occupy as much space as possible, but you don't want to get lost. So the reason why things don't work out is when people get lost in it and they view that as their business or their work or what they're supposed to do to get discovered. It is part of it, but I would like to. I want to say that to be successful, that needs to be 20%, 25% of your day. Unless you're preparing something big like a presentation, that's it. The rest of your day needs to be reaching out on calls, having that human, building those human interactions. So that's pretty much any kind of what I wanted to share.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm going to be a bit harsher. Zara, here's a link to join. You're welcome to join the studio. Of course, everyone is, right? And the link is on the event page as well. And if you want me to send the link directly to your DM, then just put in the comment here. Please send the link. How you doing, Prof? I see you. Welcome. I see Superstar Jay is here as well. Dr. Lisa's here. There's many more people than that. So what's no? We'll take it. We'll take it. All those who said hello, I can say hello back to you. Look, here's a question for all of us, Christina. I think a lot of people, we can just stay stuck or we can move forward, right? So please put in the comments. How are you going to do it? Yes or one. How many people here are making more than $1,000 a month on LinkedIn? I expect no one to put anything in the
It's tax
comments.
season.
Right, I'm saying £1,000 a month. That, no, $1,000 a month. That's what I. If you're making that, then please put in the comments. Yes, me. Because again, I don't expect anything to happen, Christina. Because people are not making money. You lot stop wasting your time. Frustration, right? You can, this is so simple, Christina. Look, I'm glad you went down you can't post to death. Well, you can't post them to death anyway. You can post yourself to death. You just keep posting, and nothing's going to happen, right? I spent years doing
Not
that.
today.
Years. Really, tumbleweed, I called it. Yes, you might get some likes. You might get some weird comments. You might get some spam if you're lucky, right? You're not going to go viral, and viral doesn't get you clients anyway. For the simple reason that your post, it misses that thing you were talking about, Christina, which is people want to see you. They want to know that they can trust you. They want to know, like you say, that if I do business with this person, they're not just going to disappear off LinkedIn tomorrow. Yeah, so we can all do posts, and so, you know what, Christina, I've stopped posting really. The only posts you see about me, not the only post, most of the time, you see posts about what I do, my events. When you go to my profile, you're gonna see more events, more events, right? But I really want our friends here. Sean, I see you. Welcome, Zara. I'm gonna send you a link in a second. Nikki, I see you too. Where's Nikki? Nikki's there, right? Welcome, 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 welcome. See, my friends, it's not hard to make money off LinkedIn. It really is not that hard. See, Christina and I, we're on a mission to teach people how to do this. This is our workshop. So our workshop is on the 31st. Have I put a link in the comments yet? No, okay, so give me a second. I'm going to share the link to join the studio with Zara first, and then I will show you a video. A video about our event. So give me just 1 second, right? So Zara wants the StreamYard, the restream link. Okay, let's do that. All right. So Zara, oh, right. Okay. So no, there's a reason posts don't work. There's a reason why we're trying to teach people how to really make money on LinkedIn. We're not just telling you what everyone else tells you. So we're telling you what's working for us right now. And that's why I say it will make my day if you actually implement, if you actually want to make change. Now, stop just listening. Stop listening. Start doing the right thing to really move your business forward. Okay, so I've done the Zara thing. So I'll share a link with him. I've got a funny window on my screen. I don't know what that is. Okay, that's something else. Okay, right.
Yeah,
Ignore
and it's not just so. It's not the posting is not okay. I post because I like doing that, and I create long format for other reasons, right? Uh, and then there are those that like you, that you just do events and your post is about your event and what the event is about, and that's a form of posting as well. So
Yeah.
there is a written trace even when you do an event, but the difference is you know people know who you are, what you look like, what you sound like, uh, what they feel when they hear your voice. Do they feel confident? Do they feel like, I don't know, this where did they get this stuff, I don't know where they learn these and if they're even trustworthy. So all of that happens, when you have a live like this, or when you have an interaction by booking a call. But part of it is also these calls, right? I've been ranting about coffee chats for a month now. So it's like this. If you're having calls with somebody, you have to define it before you get on that call.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. Not because you don't want to talk to people, but so that you can manage your time. A lot of it's time management.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Choosing the right actions that are going to produce results. Calls are going to produce results. Even calls that are just get to know calls are going to produce results in the long run.
I
But you
agree.
want to make sure that you know if you have a conversation by the end with somebody and say, I want to get on a call with you, you should ask why. Are you exploring? Are you considering working together? Or do you just want to meet? If they just want to meet, that's okay too. But
Yeah.
you know that, okay, we can meet. It's all good. I only meet with people like that on Fridays, on Thursdays, whatever day, right? And if you have a Calendly, that's your biggest tool for time management. Make available those type of calls only on one day a week. So if somebody wants a get to know call and you want to do it, you can have that call already well defined, right? uh, I don't have that call anymore. I just call my call discovery call, and there is a little screening at the beginning. And usually that's enough to stop people that want to talk endlessly, because they understand that this call is to see if we are aligned.
Yeah, look, well, you
Because when
can't
people
talk.
even type, "Oh, I want to do this and I want
Yeah,
to
but
do
you
that,"
can't
now they're
talk.
in.
You can't talk endlessly. No, no one's got time for that. Again, this comes back to our masterclass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm all for doing the let's get to know each other thing, but that's not what I'm doing. Of course, that's not no, what I'm doing. I'm listening carefully. I'm listening to work out, can I help this person? What I'm listening for is the words, I want to write a book. I've got a book that's not published. I know what I'm listening. That's once I hear those words, I will give you what I'm here for, really, which is tell you about my publishing service. Again, I say our masterclass is broken down to 3 different parts, what people don't do correctly. The first part is knowing how to craft offers people actually want to buy. A lot of people don't, you can't just keep talking, stop talking. We're here to sell, right? But you have to know when to sell. But you have to have something to sell in the first place. Now, this is Christina's word, where she'll sit with you to design your business and design your offers. But in this workshop, we're going to help. You're going to leave there with 1, 2, or 3 offers designed that you can actually go away and start selling. If you don't know what you're selling, if you don't package it properly in a way that helps people you're trying to sell to, they won't buy. Why would they?
Another thing is pricing.
Yeah, that's the big. Isn't that the biggest part of the whole thing? If look, I did a conference last week or a couple of weeks ago, $10 a ticket. Now did I want to get rich from it? No. The whole point was to test the market to get people to buy tickets, rather than thinking anything's always free. Right? I've proved that now. Again, I mentioned when I started my business, Christine, I was charging £150 a month to do all your marketing, email, social media, ads, everything. Today, if you want to call me for me to work with you on a book, for example, if you don't, you're lucky if you don't pay £2,000. I'm not even going to work with you. I'm just not going to work with you. Go somewhere else. I'm saying pricing is, how are you going to make a 10K a month if you're charging peanuts?
And it also shows, the value that you put on your own services. So,
Yeah,
the biggest mistake that somebody makes when they start a business out of something that they love is that it comes so easy to them and so natural to them that they feel almost bad charging a certain amount of money. But the
no,
thing is, what you have to believe on us as an entrepreneur is my service actually going to deliver the transformation? And what is the transformation worth to somebody? And not just somebody. If it was you back then and you needed this service, what was it really worth to you? What is it worth to you to be able to consistent 10K months and scale from there? So that's the thing.
Yeah, you see, there's different models in there in business, Christina. If you can be a retailer, for example, you sell things and you have a small margin, it's fine, but you're selling in volume. You have to sell a lot and create a system to sell a hell of a lot. Whether you're going to use ads, TV, whatever, right? Supermarket. But for us, for us small businesses, us who are escaping the 9 to 5, you can't afford to be selling for small margins. You have to create a solution that genuinely sells people, like you just said, Christina. And for that, you have to charge a premium. There's no other way. There's just no other way of saying what I'm trying to say to you, right? Yeah, so when I was doing marketing, even trying to charge peanuts, people don't trust you. They're like, price is too low. What am I going to get for this? It's not going to work. And they're right. Right? So, you have to find a way to build yourself up enough to create an offer that will transform lives. If you're not that person, then there's no point in being here, right? At all. There's no point. Don't come to our workshop because we can't help you, clearly. if you have it as Sean says, 10K in a month, 10K in a month, charging 200 pounds per month means 50 clients each month. That's not gonna happen. Forget that.
No.
How do you get to your service to 2K a month? Then you only need 5 clients. As Christina said, if you learn how to have those conversations, which again we're going to teach you how to have those conversations, and almost stack people who are not, if someone's not willing to buy this month, then make sure you have a plan to engage them next month. Follow up is called, right? Suddenly, by month 3, you got 3 or 4 clients who are going to start later. Close them. Suddenly, you're going to have a 10K month, right? I do meetings every day, Christina. I meet someone every day. Every day. If I'm not meeting someone every day, even when I meet someone every day, I'm still here on an event every day. That's how you stack your leads. But it starts with the first part of our masterclass: how to create an offer people want to buy.
Yeah, and as a little preamble to that, right? You have to think. So your offer is not like you could have 5, 6, 7 offers, right? But you want to simplify that. So we've been talking for years about customer avatar, persona, ideal client, and all that. You don't have 5, 7 different ideal people for all your offers. It's the same person.
Yes.
It's the same person at different stages in their life. So it's the same avatar. When they're first starting out, when they're now scaling, when they need a la carte little thing, a quick solution. So it's the same. So even when we do a masterclass like the one that we are planning, it does not mean that those that will attend, they're just signing up for the masterclass. Maybe that started something and they will test one of those techniques, see that they work, and then decide to enroll on a 3 months one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
So because 10K is not the end. It's just the beginning. If you can get that consistently, now you're at a point where you say, okay, what am I doing to scale? Does it mean that I'm doing double? Not necessarily. It might mean that if now your offers are anywhere from 500 to 5,000, what can you do to create an 8K to 10K offer? Doesn't mean that you're going to sell one every month, right? It means that the particular offer is either for a specific client, or it might be for an institution or a company. So those are, but it's the same ideal client, it's the same persona, it's the same information that is needed, only different aspects.
Yeah, and I'll give you an example of how I do it. And I'm sure I'll share this many times, right? Especially for those who do come to the masterclass. And the link is in the comments, by the way. Barbara, I see you. Welcome. Sean, no one's gonna put the time to get 50 clients a month. It's not gonna happen, right? We know it's not gonna happen. No, you have to create better offers. That's our point. Here's a link. Say the link is is in the comments. So, if you don't buy a ticket, you're not coming, right? Simple as that. Zara, so I'll come to you in a second. Let me welcome Alavine. Alavine, I think I just showed you, but welcome as well. What does Jay say? Christina. I'll let you think about this while I do what I'm going to do for a second, Chris. I know we have to go soon as well. We do have to go, right? In the age of AI, is SaaS, software as a service development and sales, still a viable business? A simple one. Of course it is. Of course it is.
It is, but the thing it is, but now is that you use AI to do it faster. So
yeah,
and it comes with fast scale.
And sign them up on the subscription. Yeah, that's what everyone else does. That way they're paying forever, every month. That's a model I like. Get them paying every month, and then you're laughing literally, right? Anyway, let me show you a video. When we talked about you can't just keep doing cheesy posts, you can't. It doesn't work anymore. Now here's our advert for this masterclass. Christina, don't hate me. I'm just showing it. It's an example, right? It's a video, so let's show it. Okay, here you go. Quite good, Christina. I think that's really that. Zara, do you like it?
Better on the mobile version, but yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't like we get the idea,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Interactive, engaging. We're both there, Christina. But look, we're not relying on that to
Why?
set up a masterclass. We're here for a reason today to talk about that. The reason we dedicated this whole event to talk about this topic is because we want to talk about the masterclass, right? When we say show up, we mean show up, be there physically, moving. Don't try and cheat the system. Don't try and cheat your potential clients by just keep shoving that post that are impersonal. Don't do it. That's as good as it looks. I'm jealous Christina can create such genius. I can't. But there'll be more videos. You'll see. We're meant to create one today. To be fair,
But
right? So
one thing is only show up, right? Only show up. It's a small investment.
yes.
But only show up if you're willing to do the homework afterwards and to actually give it a go and see what happens. If somebody wants to try a little bit of it before the masterclass and see if some results are happening, I have a little crumb of it in one of my newsletters, Claim It Daily. I think it was 155 or 156. But it is, you'll see it somewhere in my posts. It's a 3-day challenge.
I like that.
And
Okay.
this 3-day challenge is a 3-day DM challenge where there are specific instructions there to contact a certain type of people, to ask yourself who you're actually, who you're not targeting, but who do you want to deliver a result for,
Yeah. Would you
and
say?
knowing that you can, right? And do that 3 days in a row. So
Right.
if you try, I already have people that told me that after 3 days, they book their calendars for 2 weeks.
Yeah. You see that. I mean, I wish people would understand our passion to change lives, Christina. Really, I don't do workshops for just to talk. I want to change someone's business. Christina is. I know that's what drives her too. We want to take someone from where they are to where they want to be, to 10K months. Yeah, why not? Right? But if you're not willing to put the work in, don't come. If what is making 10K a month repeatedly worth to you? We show you how to craft your offers. We show you how to generate the numbers of leads you need to and you got the right offers. You got the right number of people that you need to convert every month. And we show you how to have the conversations to actually convert them.
And really
What's that?
understand leads.
I tell you,
Because not everybody's a lead.
What's that work to? Most people are not leads. They don't need what you do, right? They're not leads. They're talking to you, they're engaging, but they're not saying to you, "I really want to buy what you do." A lead makes an inquiry. Everything else is not even a prospect. They're in your funnel. Okay, maybe they know you. They're talking to you. Yes, you're most of the way there. A lead is ready to buy. They got the card in their hand, saying, "Right, how much is it? Where do I pay?"
But sometimes you gotta ask them, right, straight up.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
interested? And they may say maybe in the future, or they can say yes, right? Or whatever the answer is, you have to listen to the answer
Yes.
and figure and use that to pre-qualify. Now, this is not all, it's all called no art business,
No,
right?
this is hard. This is hard. Zara will tell you, business is hard. If you have no heart, then you're not going to sell to anyone. We're here to help people. I said, this is hard. This is as humanity, as human as humanity gets. That's why we're here. If you don't have a soul in your business, what are you here for? You're doomed. Zara, share with us. Now, if you want to ask a question, otherwise, feel free. What do you want to share with us?
I, I, I have questions and lots of questions for everyone. Thank you, and brother and Christina. How much are we? I've seen people who call every day and they say me like 150 calls we made every day. I mean, here in the call centers and counters. But if you're going to ask what is the talk time, that is not more than I think 100 minutes. That means that they are failing to build that relationship with their prospects. And that's the biggest challenge here. At least 240 minutes of talk time if you are in sales, in that sales business. That means that shows that you are actually building that relationship with your customers, with your clients, with your prospects, because you're listening them, you're hearing them. And in my profession, what I've learned that yes, a former blue collar is earning more, but he has put that effort in it. He has went out from his comfort zone. A former blue collar is earning more than a pediatric cardiologist earns in the whole year. There are some businesses, and many businesses have reputation problem. Now, when you're going to write, I'm not saying making 10K is something. Uh, it's very glamorous. It looks very glamorous, it luxurious, and but to the facts, how it takes a lot to uh, to wake up as an entrepreneur, to wake up as a business owner who just started his business and now building relationships. See, when I post here or when I call people or when I reach out to them in the DMs, telling them, can I have a virtual meeting with you? And when they agrees and I put them on my calendar, and on the last moment when you see, oh, something happened and the person didn't show. So that does, take your, and you don't have to take these things personally. What I've learned so far, what I'm learning every day, okay, not showed up, let's move on to the next one. You were talking about many things about contents and what strategies we should use. And the best thing, what I've learned so far is, you must not take these rejections personally, because and we have to move on, keep on moving, because those 11, 12, 13, 14 no's will and now those no's will bring you towards that one yes. This is for sure. Not today, not tomorrow, but it's going to take time, and it's not overnight. But how much are we willing to put an effort in it? See, yesterday somebody came up, a very educated person, a doctor here in Pakistan, in Karachi. And I reached out to him and I said, do you know about any network marketing or referral based businesses? He said, yes, yes, yes. Oh, like Oriflame and companies like that. I said, yeah. Oh, it's just, the first thing they say is they have tried, when I know they never tried anything like that. Even many big marketers here, they come up with a mindset. Now, in my profession, we have to talk with doctors, we have to talk with the lawyers, we have to talk with people with big ranks from retired army, and they have their leadership, they have their ranks, They may be retired, now sitting in the home and struggling with their health. But because they have those previous experiences in their life where they leadership qualities of holding 20, 30, or 200 people, being a leader. So they are not ready to leave those identities. They're not ready to put them in the box to listen to some what they're offering them. So changing their mindsets can be reset, but those mentalities where they hold some power, and now you're telling them to change their identities. What I found interesting anyway, because now I get to know about, I make these small little short videos. I listen to their rejections. I listen to their doubts, fears, procrastinations very carefully. I write them down. And then I make I make those small short videos of 47 seconds or 50 seconds, tring, to all the social medias to make sure when they're going to come back and they're going to see that message, what I'm trying to tell them. They've said me no, that's fine. I'm going to move on to the next person. But there are some people who started their career with criticizing, and we call them career critics. And some people, they will say you, I need another 6 months or I need another 3 months. And what we call them is paralysis of analysis because they want to analyze for next more 3 months what we are doing and what we are building. And there are some more people who will say, I'm not ready today. I'm not ready today. And we call them excusatists, people who make excuses. So you're going to see many people here. And but it does how we are showing up every day and what we are. In my profession, I see myself as a teacher, as an educator, as a trainer, as a consultant, as a doctor, as a lawyer. I mean, just think like a person who's getting groomed every day, every day, because he has to talk with so many people who have limiting beliefs, and maybe because they have seen some video on the YouTube, they have done some researches to see what I'm offering them, and because of that, those people who started this business posted for 3 months, they didn't earn any money and called it a scam, and they moved on. Now, those new educated ones, those who are literate, who hold some degrees and everything, yeah, they go to those videos and see and pass me those links and tell me, oh, look what they're saying about your business. So challenging them over time with their own mindset. Okay, if I can do this from here, Lahore, in 160 countries, you guys can also do it. It takes time
Sarah,
to educate
Sarah,
them.
What's the
Yeah.
question?
Sarah, our time is gone, right? Look, I'll say this. You don't want to sell to people who don't want what you offer. You're wasting time. I can understand making the phone calls. I can understand the reaching out daily. I get that. That's part of the job as a business person. I agree. But you want to be reaching to people who are warm contacts, warm potentials. And I'm trying not to call them leads yet, because I haven't said I want what you do, right? Don't be the people who do cold calling. Do you know the scale they work at? Insurance companies, they do cold calling, right? They work at 30,000 calls, a month. A month. That's how they make money. The 30,000. So they don't get, they get one regularly. They get one, and the rejection rate is very high. Of course, the phone slammed down on you. The abuse that you take as a telesalesperson, God help you. There's better ways. This is what Christina and I are saying. If you on LinkedIn, you can do better than cold calling, because the people you're talking to them, they know you already. Now that's how Christina started off with. You have to show up as you and get to know them. And then again, I'll end on this. I don't, Christina wants to say something. I know we have to go, right? If someone says no, as you say, Zara, it doesn't mean no forever. It's for you to have a system to follow up. That's what business calls on us to do, right? You have to have a way that you follow up without being a pest. You follow up because now but you only do that to those that you really know you can help. Those who get how you can help them.
Annie, I will
Right?
add something here a little, and then we can go. I mean, I have seen people, Christiana, okay, they said we are not going to move ourselves, pessimists, and
They're not.
now they are
Oh,
the
hold
ones
on.
who are saying me they are not going to stop.
Right.
Now they're saying me they are not going to stop
Don't look.
when they
With
knew
no.
about the opportunity.
Listen, no, there's something that I think doesn't help us. I could say it's wrong, but it doesn't help us. The customer's never wrong. If they're not buy, they're not wrong. We haven't done enough to convince them that they need what we're offering. That's the truth. Think of what there's a question for all of us here, right? If you want to be making this 10K month that we're working on, I always ask the question: How much have you bought off LinkedIn? How much have you spent on LinkedIn with your connections? No, if your answer is nothing, you're not serious. You're just not serious because it means you don't know what it takes to buy or sell. Only when you bought something from someone on LinkedIn do you know where you need to get them to and get you to for them to say, "Here's my card." That's a lot of people want to sell on LinkedIn. They've never bought a single thing. I know, unless you know what it's like to buy high ticket items, you don't know what it takes. You don't know what you have to do. You don't know what the other person must feel, must say, must look, what they must be. You mentioned identities, Zara. And I don't know what to say. If you're not a spender on LinkedIn, you're stuck. It's like you can't run a supermarket if you never bought anything from a supermarket. Simple as that. That's the truth. Christina, please wrap up. Then.
Yeah, so very good point, Annie. You have to understand, this is like any e-commerce business. I often compare LinkedIn to eBay or Poshmark or Etsy. You have to understand the marketplace. If you look at those three, Etsy, eBay, Poshmark, they're kind of the same thing. They're not. You have to understand the three different marketplaces and how people behave within the marketplace. Same thing with LinkedIn. You have to behave within the marketplace. I wanted to address one of the things that Zahar said at the very beginning. 10K sounds very glamorous. To some people, it doesn't. It really depends where you are. In the United States, the medium salary is $61,000 a month, right? But where I live is 150,000 in the Bay Area. So, 10K barely does it for somebody for a family year.
Yeah,
But
I think 10K is £6,000 in pounds, so it's not glamorous
mhm,
at all. At all,
exactly.
it's a
But you can scale that. And
yes.
the reality is that people are not making even that. So if you get there, then you can keep scaling. But you need to get there consistently first to be able to say, okay, this year that's what I've done. Now let's scale up.
Mm, mm. The 10K it's a start, Christina. You said that earlier. We'll need to make a lot more. To survive as a business, you have to make a lot more than that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
And
have
that's
staff, which you will
and I
need.
picked the amount for a reason because I was doing research. The medium income is 61,000. That
Mm,
means about 5,500, something like that per month, right? That's one offer.
mm,
One person buying one offer, one good offer. And then technically, okay, now I'm working for myself, right? If you earn a medium salary. But the reality is you're doing this because you want more.
mm,
So starting at 10K almost doubles the medium salary in the country, here in North America at least. So if you start there, it's viable.
Mm.
You can grow it and you understand how to grow it because now you get feedback from people that have parted with their hard-earned cash, and you know what they want and what they need. Earlier we started the conversation saying that I was somebody's mentor, right? But the reality is that as a coach and mentor, you learn from your clients. You understand what they want and what they need, and they only make you better. So the listening needs to start before you earn. You really need to understand, listen, see what is needed, and then ask yourself, can I provide that, and can I provide it in a way that it produces a result so
Yeah.
that my brand benefits from it.
Yeah, I agree. They have to leave, with the offer knowing that that's the solution to the problem, and they have to want to pay for it. There's no point in exciting them, and they're like, and people do it every day. Marketers do it every day. People go, oh yeah, I need more clients, but I'm not willing to pay for it. That's what no really is. So look, I'll put the link in the comments. If you join us, we'll be glad to transform your business. If you're making the money already, then come and teach us how, right? I want to know how. And if you're not making the money, find the money. What is that level of revenue mean to you? $75, £50, £53, I think, £52 is today, I think, in exchange rate. It's not. We're not asking for an arm and a leg, but now you leave with the tools to know how to craft those offers that actually do sell. Build the numbers of leads. Yeah, the big number of leads. I think ultimately it's by creating a system, Christina, that you can repeat over and over again.
Exactly, but it's a workshop. It means you have to work during it.
Yes.
So,
There's a workbook as well, that you can take away. Don't just come and listen to us. You have to actually make a plan by the time you leave, an action plan that you're actually going to implement. If you do all that, then I don't see how you can lose. I spent 10 grand on a coach before, Christina, so I know what it's like to spend 10 grand. So, and that's one client for one offer, all right? We can all do it. Don't believe us? Click on the link. Talk to us if you must. Talk to let's book a meeting. Talk to Christina. And let's work out how you can really make those numbers. Because you must, for your family's sake, for your sake, you must. We must go, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us. It's still Monday, right? Yay! Look, Christina, you take care. We'll talk soon. We have to record our video, right?
tomorrow.
Book a call with Christina. That's probably the easiest thing to do, right? If you want to talk more, just book a call with her. Tell us a sales call, not a conversation about nothing. Just a chat.
It's still 20 minutes.
I'll reach out to her I'll reach out to her by saying, hey, there's a good, I'll say her, there is a good news or bad news. What do you want to hear?
Always good news. You like good news.
Yes. Okay. Bad news is this is a cold call.
Let's learn to have productive sales, sales focused calls. Otherwise, we're just wasting time. But 20 minutes is not bad to get to know someone. It's a start, and that's a good place to start, right? Look, take care, everyone. Zara, thank you for coming on stage. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone that's joined us. Do something. Don't do nothing, right? Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with Global.Media.com. And celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with Global.Media.